Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and light. Welcome back to Know the Ledge Radio / Know the Ledge TV. You are now rocking with the best. This is your host, Brother Blue. All right. Very soon to be joined by my guest for the I can't say for the evening, for the midday, for the afternoon. All right. Our brother Kenny Brisbon. So with no further ado, let me open up the line and bring our brother in the building. All right. Here
Yep.
you
Here
go.
you go. What's up with it, bro?
Peace, love, and
Peace,
light.
love, and light. What's good with
All is
it?
well in
All is well in
yourself.
yourself. Man, how you doing, bro? It's good seeing you, fam.
You got to turn
You
the
gotta turn the
audio down a
audio
little
down
bit.
a little bit. I'm too loud?
No,
No,
you
you
good. I had a
good. I had a
reverb of
reverb of
myself
myself
in the
in the
background.
background. Okay, so you want me to turn it down?
Yeah,
What about now?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello? That's better?
I still hear
I still
myself.
hear myself. Okay,
Like, are you
like, are
listening
you
to me
listening
through
to
the
me
audio
through the
or
audio
something?
or something? Yeah. I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
You
should be able
should
to
be
hear
able to
me,
hear me,
but I'm
but
hearing
I'm hearing
myself as
myself
a
as a
result.
result. Okay, what you got feedback on your end?
Feedback. Yeah.
Feedback, yeah. Okay, so let me see. I turned myself down. Hold
Yeah.
on. Yeah. What about now?
Check. Check.
What,
Yeah. I mean, I hear
I
myself,
hear
but it's a
myself,
lot
but it's a
lower.
lot lower.
It's still an echo.
It's still an echo. It's still an echo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder whose end that is.
Um.
Because I
It's
don't I
your
don't
end.
I hear you clear.
Yes,
Yes,
indeed. I'm
indeed. I'm
saying that
saying that
I hear
I hear
myself
myself
clear.
clear.
Okay, they're saying
Okay,
it's
they
an
saying
audio
it's an
delay
audio
on my
delay on my
side.
side. On your side? And let me turn and let me see if it work if I turn this stuff down too. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let me
All
figure
right, let
this
me
out,
figure this
y'all.
out, y'all.
Camera,
Camera,
audio.
audio,
Check, check,
check,
check.
check, check.
All right,
All right,
default.
default.
Turn the
Turn
mic
the mic.
open. Check.
Check.
Hello?
Hello. Okay. What about? All right. What about now?
Check, check.
Check, check. I hear you.
All right.
All right.
I hear me as well.
I hear me as
Um,
well. Um,
they're saying that I got a big
saying that
echo.
I got a big ego. Yeah, I don't hear it though.
All right. Tell me if
All
y'all
right.
still hear this,
Tell me
family.
if y'all still hear this, family.
Echo.
Echo.
Oh, oh. Turn this down. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna try one more thing.
I'm gonna try one more thing.
Yeah, never turn it off or lower the volume.
Turn it off. Yeah, you clear on my end though.
Audio. Mic. Tell me how it is now.
All right. Tell me how it is now. Good on my end.
All right, chat room. Tell me what's
All right,
good
chat room.
in the
Tell me
chat room
what's
in terms
good
of the audio
in the chat
feedback.
room in terms of the audio.
All right, so let me do this. Do you have headphones with
Okay. All
you?
right, so let me do this. Do you have headphones with you? Oh yeah, you know what, Blue?
Because there's a delayed
And you
echo.
was delaying on my screen. It looks like there's a delay on your screen, bro. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clear.
Yeah, I can hear you clear. Okay. They saying it is it still an echo?
See,
See,
what's happening is that
What's
when
happening
I'm
is that
speaking,
when I'm
I'm hearing
speaking,
myself
is that I'm
coming
hearing
out through
myself
your speaker.
coming out through your speaker.
Because if you're listening to me, you're doing this
If
through a
you're listening
laptop
to
or
me, you're doing
something.
this through a laptop or something.
No, I'm listening through my phone.
Okay,
Okay,
then I don't know.
then I don't
Like,
know.
you would have to turn
You
down.
would
That's what
have
I'm
to
saying. If you
turn.
have headphones,
I don't know how you're gonna hear. That's what I'm saying.
you
If you have
can hear
headphones,
me
you can hear
directly
me
because I'm
directly
hearing myself and it's
because I'm
causing
hearing myself and it's causing a feedback echo.
Okay. All right. So let me all right. So then let me sign off and then I'll come back in 5 minutes. I'll get some headphones.
All right, bet.
I bet.
All right, bet.
Peace, family, peace, love, and light. Welcome back to another episode of Know the Ledge Media / Know the Ledge TV. This is our midday. You know, we're gonna do a midday. We're gonna get Melanin Mondays. You know what I'm saying? You know, the brother got them for y'all this evening. You know, he's doing what only Rep Hill can. Wanted to take, to speak on what I felt was most important. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brother Rich. Had an opportunity to stop by his platform last night because we have a eerie tendency of always having to eulogize, these giants that transition untimely. You know what I'm saying? And our brother Kobe Bryant is no different. You know, when we talk about things and we dissect things in screen delay like that. All right. All right, y'all gotta walk with me through this and let me know visual wise or delay wise, is it operating or acting any better? Give me some feedback. Let me know if it's still buffering or delaying or whatever it's doing. You know what I'm saying? Just give me a little bit of feedback. It's delay. I'm trying to figure out what that means when you say delay. It's not coming through in time. It's buffering, delaying. That's crazy. All right, the sound is great. There's a little lag time. Does that mean like buffering? I said it's lagging a little. Okay. Let me close some of these windows. I got like 20. All right, just bear with me, family. It'll be well worth the wait. Let's get it together. Clean, clear transmission. Okay. I do appreciate you. Thank you for out of your midday. It's moon day. It's magical manifestation. All right. Just got to get this thing frame freezing, moving slow. Visual and audio. God damn it. All right. Give me I'm gonna go to my phone so I can do it through this phone. I tell you, if it ain't one thing, it's another. But I'm humble, I'm blessed. I am yes indeed. You said it's good now. Y'all gotta let me know. Just give me a little bit of feedback and give me some insight. You saying it's streaming better now? Oh, okay, no pixelation. Shit, I must have closed the right window. Huh. But let me know. Keep me posted if the pixelation or anything goes out. I don't be knowing what's going on. Where I live, where I'm at in this complex, I don't get the best service. The phone don't work back here the right way. You know what I'm saying? The internet be sketchy at times. You feel me? And Atlanta's supposed to have some of the best internet. So I don't know. You know? At the end of the day, you can only stand and deliver. Yeah, I just closed more windows. You know what I'm saying? But I'm in full research mode on various different topics. So I always gotta have these windows accessible. You know what I'm saying? There's so much going on in the world of decoding right now that it's like, all right, let me close this other window. Yeah, there's so much going on, when it comes to the decodes. You can't keep up. It's very hard to actually entertain and engage all of this material and at the same time, be on top of your business, A1. All right. So let me bring our brother back in. All right, they said that I'm stalling again. Let me open this brother's lines back. Peace, God. Wait. Audio. That's camera resolution. Audio. Mic. I'm doing it through the. Yeah, okay.
Now,
Huh?
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay.
I can hear myself too.
I can hear
Same way.
myself too. Same way.
It was.
And you had the headphones in. You could hear the audio coming from the computer, correct?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me.
Uh-huh.
Clear?
Clear enough. Yeah. It's the audio is kind of low, but I can hear you.
Okay, bet. What about now? Still?
Okay. Like they said, the echo's gone, but we sacrificed the audio clariance, meaning that the volume is not as high as it was. I can hear you, and they're saying there's a slight clicking sound, and the headphones do that. You know what I mean? I can't hear you. Shout out Supernova. I see you, my brother. Can't hear you. Yeah, take the headphones off. Yeah. Hello? Take the headphones out.
Take the headphones out.
I did. What about now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what you want to do? It's an echo on your end?
I wouldn't say
I wouldn't say it was an echo. I just saw my
What you want to do, bro?
I want to
go with it. You know.
Show must go on, right?
That
show must go on, right?
Show must
go on.
What's going on, bro?
Yeah. And that's
a perfect.
Good to see you, man. I don't want to take you for granted, man. So good to see you. I'm glad to see you, bro. You know what I mean? I don't want to take nobody for granted, you know. So great to see you, bro. Again.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed.
We gotta take it. Everything is about
man, we want to start, yo.
I want to start with appreciation of things.
It's breaking up right there. What you say?
I said I want to appreciation. And all right, they want me to turn that. Okay. I'm turning my audio. Generator. Audio. I just said it. Give me one second. Shit. Check.
I can hear you.
Huh?
I can hear you.
I can hear me as well. You know. But what I hear is a replay. Meaning that you know, I'm hearing myself coming out of your audio playback echoing.
What do they hear?
They hear echo.
They hear echo.
And like I said, I'm going to log on phone. Fine. Just give me one second. We troubleshooting it.
Am I echoing to them too? Am I echoing to them as well?
I don't think that.
Well, so there's no dead space, man. Let me say, again, it's great to see you, bro. I don't want to take life for granted. The last time you see somebody, that could be the last time you see somebody. Life is stranger than fiction. But I'm also, I like to say, I'm a fan of remarkable human beings, whether that be athletics, finances, metaphysics, scholarship. I'm just a fan of remarkable human beings. And we all got to transition. And when remarkable human beings transition, what it does is it opens their life up. And the missing pieces for your individual pursuit, they're oftentimes locked away in these remarkable people. And when they transition, or you write an autobiography or there's a movie about them, you actually get to focus on the key ingredients that allow you to scale. Oftentimes we focus too much on personality, too much. Was a person a good person, a person a bad person? In the grand scheme of things, none of that really matters. The things that they do well is what can be taken from a person's life. I wanted to say that as a backdrop because within the last 10 years or so, I guess, when someone passes, opportunities are squandered away because everyone is a detective, and you miss the mark. And I understand, the average person, they'll never be as important, quote unquote, as a Kobe Bryant or a Nipsey Hussle or Barack Obama, whatever, in terms of globally. Everybody has is important to somebody. But, these moments where something tragic happens, and because of our paranoia of the matrix, we focus more on the matrix instead of the person. And because of the way the news cycle is, in 4 days, 5 days, a story is dead. And once it becomes dead, there's a new story. And you miss the moment, you miss the mark of when you could have got something great from a person. I seen it happen with Nipsey Hussle, the blood wasn't even dry. The blood wasn't even dry before people that, didn't even really give a damn about the man's career, his business. So, I don't want that to happen with Kobe because there's key ingredients in the way that this person did things where I feel like all of us can take and we can scale whatever it is that's important in our lives, whether that's being a husband, being a wife, business, health, whatever, entrepreneurship, whatever is going on, that concept of Mamba mentality concept, and it can be used for everybody. So, I want to focus on that instead of, matrix paranoia. Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah.
Shit.
I
switched
phone,
phone,
but I got
the same situation.
You got what?
huh? This
Wild feedback.
Back on my end or yours?
It's crazy.
It's
Like there's a score.
If I put my headphones in.
Speak.
the mic, headphones. Yeah, like we got to turn off. There's something, and this is tantamount to the lesson that we're talking about tonight. You know what I'm saying, or today, and it's the background noise, right? The white noise, the shit that you don't hear with the regular audible ear that's always going on. And this is the thing that we're talking about, even with Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of background noise. And if you really tune in, if you quiet out everything else is going on, family, and you tune into what's going on, that's how that shit sounds. You know what I'm saying? It's very distorted. there's a distortion of sounds that are going on at a time when traditionally we should be honoring, you know, somebody's life and their legacy and all of the contributions that they made to humanity, you know what I'm saying? And the sacrifices that they made and the moments that they have given us, you know, and the only thing that we are susceptible to hear is the background noise and the chit chatter. And I come from I come from the space of conspiracy theorists and conspiracy theory, you know, and I got a lot of flack last year when I didn't join the Nipsey Hussle conspiracy bandwagon, you know, and I'm willing to take the same level of flack this time around, you know, by saying that I can't be dismissive, as always, of the things that jump out at you. You know, I'm a person that tracks a number throughout the universe. You feel me? So it would be very hypocritical for me to tell people to not pay attention to signs, patterns, symbols, you know, all of these things. You feel me? But at the same time, you know, I step back, just like with the Nipsey situation, and I ask people, well, what do you possibly stand to gain from, you know, being a cyber detective and cracking the code? Because you're not going to do anything. And the more that you are able to unveil the conspiracy, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't move you towards any power, it doesn't move you towards controlling the narrative or redirecting it. We're always left just reporting it at the end of the day. You feel me? So I'm like, it all has to make sense. You know what I mean? And what you can extrapolate from an experience or a situation like this is the life lessons. And there's many life lessons to be learned from this. You know what I'm saying? But more so, you have an individual who contributed so much from their own personal journey and their own life that we should be able to extrapolate and mine for those gems. We can't miss the opportunity to mine for the gems. You know what I'm saying? Because us focusing on the conspiracy or unlocking it, there's no action principle behind it. You know, other than the fact that you deep. Where's that going to take you when there's life lessons to be learned? There's leadership lessons to be learned. There's family lessons to be learned. You know what I'm saying? There's things that we need to cherish that solidifies, you know, our wherewithal to go into this, you know, this storm of 2020. You know what I'm saying? And come out on the other end, you know, shining. You know what I'm saying? Like these are the things that you're gonna need to weather this storm. So I don't want to focus on cartoons from 2016 to 20. I mean, we if that was the case, niggas would have start doing cartoons. If you convince yourself over and over that cartoons are what leads to predictive programming, where's the reparations cartoon then? Where's the black people in Wakanda cartoon on top other than Black Panther? Where's our victorious cartoon? So it doesn't us focus on these things are not compelling us to act on them. You know what I'm saying? Other than the fact to say, yo, there's some coincidental things or there's some things going on in this universe that you can't yet explain. Shit, Mandela effect is one of them. That shit is crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? And I can only explain it through quantum explanations. I can't use the mundane language. And, you know, a person like a Kobe Bryant, he epitomized in his life's walk the sacrifice that it's going to take to put you beyond that threshold where you can even engage in a quantum conversation. You have to be able to exhaust all things mundane before you get to that place. And this person represented that level of engagement in life. You know what I'm saying? To leave every goddamn thing on the floor and break through your threshold. You know what I mean? That's who this is. So yes, this is the Mamba mentality episode featuring Ken Brisbon and Blue Pill. I'm going to open up the floor to my brother. Can't hear you.
Hey, Echo. Good. Okay. So, man, so just a little backstory. So Kobe Bean, 96 draft, I was 12 years old. And this draft is an epic draft. If all my hoopers understand it, so it's mad levels about Kobe. You got Kobe, the personality that people know him. Things going back and forth with Shaq. You got Rape Case Kobe. People know him for that. But if you're a hooper, this hit a certain kind of way too. So 96 draft, I believe the Bulls won the championship that year. Now listen to this draft class, because this draft class set the stage for the way the NBA is right now. So in this draft class, Allen Iverson is the #1 pick of this draft class. Allen Iverson, all right? In this draft class, who is the MVP? In this draft class is Ray Allen, 2-time world champion, NBA three-point leader. Is Steve Nash, 2-time MVP, right? Kerry Kittles, who was a damn good player. Al, you turned your mic off, I think, bro.
I said Steve Nash went 15.
Yeah. Steve Nash went out of the lottery. Okay, so you got Sharif Abdul-Rahim, which was another damn good player. Okay, you got Jermaine O'Neal, who was another damn good player, right? So, and right before that, the year before that, you had Kevin Garnett. Okay, so 94, which was Grant Hill, Penny, Big Dog, right? Then you had the 96, 97 drafts, all right? So what makes this draft class so interesting is that this draft class is filled with Hall of Famers and people that played at a high level. And what separates Kobe from a lot of, he was able to soar higher. Listen, bro, I told you Allen Iverson is the first pick of the NBA draft, right? Kobe Bryant soared past his peers. And what makes Kobe Bryant interesting is because he had a rough start, though. If anyone remembers that rookie year, he averaged about 7 points a game. He didn't play much. He was coming off the bench, 18-year-old. This is when, coming out of high school, this is before the wave, right? LeBron and them and Dwight Howard and them was part of the last group. So KG came the year before Kobe, then Kobe came. Jermaine O'Neal also came in that draft. So Kobe shot 5 air balls against Utah, 5 in that game, I believe, right? And the interesting thing about him, and it could be growing up in another country. Oh, shoot.
There's a
There's a what noise?
It's like a cooking, like with the old school records, when you go around.
Oh, is it still going? Yeah, I hear it now.
Yeah, I don't know. Keep doing it. Yeah. Let's go.
Okay, what about now? Okay, so again, so Kobe in that year, he shot 5 air balls against Utah. But what made Kobe different is there's a scene of Shaq putting his arms around Kobe, trying to tell him, it's all right, young fella, you're gonna be all right. but Kobe had no chill, and those plays weren't drawn for him. He still didn't lose his confidence. What he thought was, those shots were short. Okay. I just come from playing the high school basketball where there's 35 games, and now I'm playing a grown man's game where it's 82 games. So now he has to get stronger. That's what he looked at it as. He didn't get down on himself. He said, I had to get stronger. And that's something I want to take away, that you can, that the culture as a whole, since we're going to have this same cultural identity and we're going to have this same, we're the same people, then there's something that needs to be added to the culture in terms of, what adjustments do I need to make? Okay. Regarding whether it's police brutality, whether it's school to prison pipeline, whether it's unfair wages, housing, gentrification, whatever it is, these things are going to occur. Okay. So if you apply a Mamba mentality to all situations in life, meaning that, you know what, I'm not going to get down on my life that I'm failing to pay my rent, or I'm failing in my marriage, or I'm failing in the community. What is it that I can add to my game? Okay, what is it that I can add to my game? Because it's the things that you do when the camera's not looking that makes you a legend. Okay, so what is it that the culture can add to their collective game? Or from an individual standpoint, you know what? We all got a vision board. We all got goals. We all have financial goals that we set for ourselves, relationship and health goals. And if we're not meeting that, why am I not meeting that? Instead of focusing on the problem, that what the issue is, how come I'm not attacking this problem? What are some better ways? What can I do to get stronger? And I think that's the one thing that oftentimes gets missed when phenomenal people pass, is the success habits. This guy was extremely driven. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you a rhetorical question, Blue, but I want you to answer. You keep your ear to the cultural street. You pretty much are in tune with everything that's going on. Do you personally think the culture, okay, I hear it now again. Okay. Do you think the culture as a whole, practices a relentless Mamba mentality?
As a whole, absolutely.
As a whole, absolutely not.
Okay. So
Individuals that embody that mentality in others.
okay.
And that's
what
we
identify like
in the circle. Very
few amongst the many.
So do you think the system practices a Mamba mentality, a relentless mentality?
In certain
areas.
Okay. So collectively, do you think that the people as a whole, when we say what we've been through for 400 years or what we're going through, do you think the people as a whole, the reason why they may be losing, if this is the claim, is that they're not as relentless as the system that they're up against?
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Okay. So if the public, let's just say out of the 45 million, I'm only talking African Americans, let's just say 5 or 10 million started practicing a Mamba mentality, do you think that the culture would look different?
Without a shadow.
Okay. So now we have to go into details about what is a Mamba mentality. What is that?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what you do.
Okay.
Only
being
like I said, the more the echo fluctuating off your end, and it's making people like not audio come. Hello? All right, yeah. So that's better.
Okay, it's when I put the headphones in when you talk. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That better? All right, let me ask the chat. Is it better, y'all? Now that he got the headphones in. Yeah. There's 2 audio rates going. And one of them is conjugating. It's my favorite word this month, right? One of them is phase conjugating the other. Whew. Thank you. Yeah. So that's the key. That's the secret to it. We got to put the headphones in, but the Mamba mentality is showing up to the gym before it opens and leaving after it's closed. You know what I'm saying? I don't have nothing else on my calendar today if I'm working on my perfection. I'm not working out and pausing and answering my phone. I'm not checking my social media. No, I'm blacking everything out and I'm making sacrifices. You feel me? And I'm creating a life and a legacy that is going to outlive me. And then I'm going back to the most important thing, which is family, because I had to sacrifice that for this legendary status, iconic status shit. But I'm going to double back and I'm going to make sure that, I'm able to correct those loose ends. So in the mornings, I'm waking up at 6 in the morning and I'm working out and then I'm eating. Then I'm taking my baby to her basketball practice. You feel me? And I can't I can't do LA traffic, you understand, because it might make me late and I missed the game like that and I haven't forgiven myself yet. So I'm going to incorporate, technology and other things that my lifestyle can afford me to be that much more efficient. I'm going to improve my aggregate efficiency, you know what I'm saying? And all of this is part of my competitive spirit. So this is the Mamba mentality, that you're not, he grew up in the shadow of a person that he idolized, right? Whose shoes were the size of space itself. How can you, in your mind, wake yourself up in the morning to say that I'm going to not only compete on that level, but I'm going to surpass that person who I grew up idolizing? You have to have a weird type of mentality to approach life like that. You know what I'm saying? Where your practice is so succinct, right? Your practice is so succinct that you're able to utilize your observation of a person who you admire and at some point in your life mirror that person, right? Your mirror neurons are so succinct and so enact, and your practice is so thorough that you have now found yourself doing the things that a person that are observing, you're doing them to the very T, to the tick. And then you have created a life, right? We're not even talking about the other lives that you have inspired, but the own life that came from your own testicles has grown into a full-grown person, and now that person is mirroring your moves. You know what I'm saying? To a degree where they have now exemplified and copied them to the T. You know, this is true greatness. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, these are the life lessons that we're talking about, and the importance of when it goes into observation, because they always be like, it's the message and not the messenger. No, not if observation is involved. You know what I'm saying? The messenger is just as important as the message. So when these niggas be doing the goofy shit out here, they got good information, but they're goofy in their real life, it throws the message off. You feel me? So if Kobe Bryant wasn't disciplined in his real life, if he wasn't a regiment monster in his real life, then his court side antics wouldn't translate the same way. He wouldn't compel people to make those level of sacrifices. And yeah, we seen him make a mistake, but you never seen him make a mistake again, right? That's what's so important. We seen him stumble, but you never seen him stumble again. You know, he should get credit for that because we all stumble, right? But look how he bounced back and rebounded. So there are some thorough, important life lessons to be learned, you know what I'm saying, from the Mamba mentality.
No echo? Okay, good. Okay, I see what we have to do. I gotta mute and then you gotta mute. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna read 3 character types. And this is from the book Relentless. Okay. And Relentless, it was written by a gentleman named Tim Grover. And Tim Grover trained Michael Jordan, Dwayne Wade, Kobe Bryant. And he wrote a book called Relentless. And if you want to audit yourself, if you're doing enough, these key character types is what you can weigh yourself against. So it's 3 character types: a cooler, a closer, and a cleaner. All right, and this is his key ingredients on what makes a champion. All right, so cooler, this is the small definitions, but check out the book. A cooler is very careful, waits to be told what to do. The setup guy, keep things going, needs direction at all times. Does not have much drive or ambition. Is very content with just being average. Now, this is not a right or wrong thing. It's just these are the type of people, right? Now, that was a cooler, okay? Careful. They're the setup guy. They need direction. Now, that's the average human being on the planet, okay? So there's a misconception that males are natural born leaders. That's false. Leadership is learned because it's a science. So males are not natural born leaders, or there would be no 1%. The 99% males that are natural born leaders would overtake the 1%. Okay. So no, the average male, the average human being needs direction. All right. That's a cooler. Okay. Now we have a closer. A closer can handle pressure, will get the job done if you put him or her in the right scenario and told exactly what to do. They are concerned about what others think, like perks, rewards, choose financial security over winning and success. Now, that's the person that's doing a little better than the average. All right, so that's a closer. And then you have what Kobe Bryant was, a healthy Dwayne Wade was. Michael Jordan, a Tom Brady, a Wayne Gretzky, a Donald Trump. Anybody who scales past the average into the land of Mount Rushmore in their respective fields. I would say Bobby Hemmett was a cleaner. This is the next term, a cleaner. And it's your ability to go past the average person. Phil Valentine, you guys just had him on the show. With words, not too many people in any college, professor, politician has a better command of the English language than Phil Valentine. That comes from hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of study, right? It's funny because there's a Phil Donahue. It's either Khalid Muhammad or I think it's Khalid Muhammad or Farrakhan. Phil Valentine is in the audience, right? Yo, this is early night. This is 1990, 1991, right? So that's a career, okay? So he would be considered a cleaner. Dr. Ben is a cleaner. A cleaner is unstoppable, so certain on what it is they want through preparation. A cleaner, unstoppable. So certain on what it is we want through preparation and desire, no fear of failure. The trust guy, they just don't do it or they just do it. They don't wait to be asked. They never feel they have achieved success. There's always more. They don't have to show who's in charge. They don't have to show who's in charge. They already know. They create opportunity. A cleaner is a person that comes and finishes the job. Matter of fact, the movie Professional, William, what was his title in there? He was a cleaner. Grand opening, grand closing. Okay. Now that is probably the one out of every 10,000 person. The most people are a cooler, the majority. Then people that step above that or are closers. And then you have the great ones that are the tallest trees in the forest, which are the cleaners. Okay. Now, the problem with personal development within this culture is group identity. Okay, so group identity creates this ceiling. Okay, I seen comments. People, well, what did they do for black people? That's what makes a person a cleaner or a cooler, right? A cleaner would never ask another person, what did they do for me? Never, because they're a person that makes shit happen. Okay, we have a community that always leverages somebody's greatness with, well, what did you do for black people? I think that's such a slap in the face for somebody putting in the work when your ass is asleep. When you're partying, they're studying. When you are partying and bullshitting, they are putting in the work. They are making a sacrifice, even at the expense of their own family, to move the goalposts further and further and further in terms of achievement. And the only thing that you can ask them while you were doing nothing was, what did you do for a group of millions of, well, let me tell you what a person like Kobe Bryant did for the black community. Indirectly, those boys didn't pick up a gun, they picked up a basketball. Something small like that. Now, if you are a mother or a father and you were raising your children in a male or female in a low income area or a bad area, and while you are at work, your child decided to go in the house and not be on the street so they can watch a Laker game, okay? Or they decided to dream higher while you was at work, 2 jobs. Your father, the father wasn't there, or the mother wasn't there, and Kobe Bryant became their inspiration indirectly, whether that got them to the NBA or playing overseas, or being a sportscaster, or dealing with medicine, physical therapy. What do you when you ask what is a person doing for you? Are you talking about directly walking up to you, giving you money in your hand? No. Influence is the most powerful energy on the planet. And all these boys that have NBA dreams, whether they make it to the NBA not, if it got their ass to college and took them off the street, okay, at least to be a productive person, if that's all he did for your child or millions of boys, you can't add, that's enough. That's enough, right? That's enough. Now there's miniature Kobe Bryants. There's Kobe Bryants that live in a community that are nameless, okay? And they might pass a book to somebody, all right? Or they might take your son to get some ice cream. People doing their part. How dare you ever ask them, what are they doing for black people? If number one, if a person is policing themselves, if you are not harming other black people, you are helping black people. I don't got to give you a gift. But you got the game twisted, right? But this group identity, what this does is we have great ones that are dropping like flies, and we're missing the point. We missed it with Nipsey Hussle. And the reason why we always go to the area, especially people that live public and they show their flaw, the reason why people do that is so you don't have to mirror what made them great. So you don't have to build businesses like Nipsey. So you don't have to, Kobe Bryant, he didn't champagne campaign, bro. Everybody knows when Kobe was playing, he had no friends, bro. He did not go out. He didn't party. He didn't do a lot of stuff. He was consumed with basketball. So it's beneficial to me if I say, oh, the Illuminati killed him, or focus on his rape case, or if I say, what did he do for black people? You know why? So I don't have to focus on his discipline, because his discipline is going to say a lot about my character. His fathering is going to say a lot about me being on child support, right? How about it? But I'm gonna plug in, bro, so you could go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say I couldn't hear you. My phone had rang and it kind of threw something off. Is your audio? You hear me? Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, but I was listening to you. You was hitting on the point. I don't know if you finished yet. So come back in and let me see if I can hear you.
Okay. So the thing about it is when I take someone like Malcolm, I want the pressure. I want the pressure of what he did in his life, meaning that I want the pressure of the fact that he knew all these vocabulary words, his Ballad of the Bullet speech. I want that pressure to be fire in my life, right? I don't, him as a husband, that's between him and that woman, right? Him as a father, that's, if he's not a good father, that won't be the area that I copy. I'm going to focus on the thing that made him great or her great. And because of group identity, we miss individual accomplishments because of this herd mentality that we all got to be on the same page and we all got to do the same thing. And hell, we're the same. We're not the same, yo. We're not. We're not the same. And that thinking is very fucking primitive. And for someone to tell me, oh, well, other groups, because this is our claim to fame, we love to talk about what other groups of people are doing. And I don't know how you know that without being able to speak their language. But when you allow an Asian to come to America and pursue individual pursuits, they turned into Michukaku. When you allow Europeans to come to America to pursue individual pursuits away from the tribal ceiling, they become Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, okay? Because the way that we approach the world is very old with this tribal identity. The tribal identity for thousands of years pretty much suppressed individualism. So you had geniuses among cultures who could not thrive because they could not go past the tribal matrix. Okay? Every now and then, there are great ones, men and women among us, who are too big for this tribe. It's happened in the conscious community. It's happened in all areas, in all groups of people. There are these exceptional people who defy conventional thinking and they defy this tradition. They are the people that go and take risks. They're the envelope pushers. They're the reason why you can sleep good at night, because they are doing the ugly ass work in terms of thought, in terms of what they put their body through, in terms of the areas that they're willing to go in that other people won't. You sleep easy at night because these people exist, but then you crucify them too, right? With greatness also comes great flaws. And with icon status, icons fall, they rise and fall right before your eyes. They live in front of you. And you're able to do something you don't want no one to do to you. You're able to pick apart their entire life. What if we could do that to you? Right? We all front for the gram, yo. You know what I'm saying? What if we could know what you look like behind the scenes and your life was on full display 24/7? See, we need them Kobe's and them Nipsey's and these flawed human beings. We need that shit. We need it. We like to look at their greatness, but when they fall, oh man, when they fall. But that's icon status. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Blue, you know what I mean? Just curious your thoughts, bro. I'll mute myself.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that was a lot of insight. That was a lot of wisdom that you shared. And I can't but wholeheartedly agree. You know, the monotony of melanin, right, puts us in this one prism where anything that refracts outside of that straight line is criticized. You know, case in point, you know, his marital decisions should not subtract from his intensity and his engagement and level of greatness. But you know, all of them, you know what I'm saying? Like, people don't want to pick apart, oh, he didn't have a black wife. that wasn't a beautiful daughter that he transitioned with, because ain't nobody saying that she wasn't beautiful. You know what I'm saying? The remorse is still the same, whether she was chocolate or, in the skin variance and tone that she was presented, and she's still a beautiful person at the end of the day. So this helps us get past these issues that we continuously seem to be engaged in that are worth nothing at the end of the day, right? Like, these are the decisions, the life decisions that this man made, and he has to live with that, you know. Um, so yes, I do agree that, a level of tribalism and monotony, you know what I'm saying, has made us a very mediocre people, because we're not willing nor are we able to explore the diversity that we represent. You know what I mean? And again, they love telling us that we are the most diversified people on the planet. But when you get here, it's like a nigga could only have a do-rag on, a white t-shirt, and jeans. You feel me? And anything else outside of that is to be scrutinized and looked at as weird. So the most diverse people on the planet, right? And the fact we're not on the continent, right? So the continent is restricted in terms of its tribalism. This tribe can only mate with this people from this tribe, and there's not too many mixings of gene pool at all. So the variants that are coming from the continent, you're not going to see that. You're going to see it over here. This is where the mixing bowl is at. You dig what I'm saying? But we don't allow people to be their own personal expressions. We don't take into account their own soul signature. You feel me? They may have come here in a melanin spacesuit, but their chart might dictate something different from them. Like, we looked at Kobe's chart. Him dealing with quote unquote what we would call foreigners, it's in his chart. Him dying with his daughter, it's in his chart. You know what I'm saying? All of these things was already prepackaged in this man when he got here. But we failed to allow people to be the best rendition of themselves. And the journey is supposed to be about, man, know thyself, right? And because we love observing people outside of ourselves, which are the stars, we can make observations of the stars and learn something about them, but only to double back and learn something about yourself, right? You might not want to look into the depths of your character, so you might look at someone outside of yourself just to prove that some of this information works. But you're supposed to, once again, now go back into the depths of your character, into the shadows, and do the research to know yourself, now that you have convinced yourself that this science is actually real. So, the brother was the brother, like I said, he embodied the work ethic, you know what I'm saying? He embodied the sacrifice. He embodied the vision that we're talking about for 2020. This is an individual who jumped from the league, from high school into the league. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, before it was a thing, before it was greenlit, before it was even understood, before it was considered a smart move. You know what I mean? And he said, because I've been looking at documentaries and everything from him, you know, he ended up in the playoffs and everything. And I think he said he was driving by UCLA and watching the students and watching the whole college life and asking himself, did he make a mistake? Because now he finds himself smack dab in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And you got to show up. You got to really show up. The whole world is looking at you, all eyes on you. And you got to find that thing in you, that you convincing yourself since you was 4 and 5 years old, that you had that thing in you, all of the imagination that you use to hit that game buzzer, you know what I'm saying, shot when you practicing and it's 2 a.m, it's time to go in. All of these things are speaking to a person's ability to manifest their own reality in their lifetime and watch, and the whole world watch, right? This is next level shit, man. You know what I'm saying? This is next level shit. You feel me? And like you said, like, how many of us will be willing to turn the cameras on ourselves to willingly expose the world to our flaws and our hiccups? What we do online, for the most part, for most of us, is carefully curated. You know what I'm saying? You get an hour out of our lives and you're convinced that you know us. you know, and some of us package it and present it like that for you to go along with this falsehood. But that's not real. You know, a lot of us don't even know ourselves. I'm not speaking for myself, but I'm on a personal journey every single day to know more and more about myself. You know, myself. I didn't say self, myself. You know, shit. I got mad different bodies attached to this one, about 5 or 6 of them. You know, different energy bodies. I have to know how all of those coincide and work. I have to know which one to give preference to over the other. You know what I'm saying? I got to know when they all need equal treatment. You know what I'm saying? I want to know a little something about my past lives. You know, I need to study the character in the Bible named Paul to know about his life to find out clues about my life. You know what I'm saying? So you never, and then I got a whole family. Then I got friends and colleagues and people that, you know, I'm convinced that shit, I might have been in past lives with them, you know? And then you're reevaluating the relationships that you've been in throughout this particular lifetime. Shit, did I fuck off the one that was the most meaningful? Was this person in my life for this particular reason? I'm understanding this shit 20 years later. Yo, life is deep. You know, this shit is deep, and it's all about observation. You know what I mean? And the fact that I've been able to extract so much information and store it in my brain, now you got to properly place it in places where it could serve you best. You know, thank God for Facebook. Shit, without Facebook memories, motherfucker, I'm like, you know what I mean? That's just an external brain. You know, it helps me see myself. You know, some amazing things about myself. I've been brought it's been brought to my attention by Facebook, by computer learning, by algorithm that shows you yourself in cycles. This is what you was doing a year ago. This is what you was doing 2 years ago. Sometimes you find yourself doing the same shit to the day. And you like, look at God, you know? So observation is everything, man. You know what I'm saying? Observation is everything. And I just want us, again, I'm pleading the same way that I did the day and the day after Nipsey made transition. You know, we're pleading, I'm not by myself, for you to observe and pay attention to the things that will service you the best when looking at the life and legacy of this young man. You know what I'm saying? The things that can service you the best through this observation is his success habits, you know what I'm saying, and his ability to manifest his own reality, not just through imagination, but a serious application, you know what I'm saying, of work. You know, he put in the necessary 10,000 hours to master his craft. And that's what you were witnessing. And all of this is the result of that. The fact that he's praised and lauded the way that he is, the fact that he's looked at as a god, especially in Asian countries, where you don't really understand what his wave entitles, because you niggas is entitled niggas over here. So you looking at everybody like y'all equal. No, this is a god manifested, not little G, big G. Okay? Not little G. This is a big G. You dig what I'm saying? So know who you looking at and know what you're talking about at the end of the day. And stop inboxing me the goddamn cartoons. All right? Let's create our own cartoon where we win. Let's create one where Trump get it the way that you want him to get it, if that's what you into. If that's what you into. You feel me? God damn it, you should start drawing at this particular point. You know, I'm gonna mute my mic.
Okay, also let me say this too, because this is a problem and everybody not gonna get it. But if I can help shift somebody's thinking, listen, if Kobe Bryant was married, if Kobe Bryant was married to the blackest woman on the planet, that doesn't benefit black people because you don't eat off that plate. What they eat don't make you shit. And I understand about optics. Like optics is so important to people. But you know, it's a lot of black men married to black women and the relationship is trash. So if the relationship gets good, you don't benefit. When it's trash, you don't benefit. The only thing that you feel is your own journey. So what makes a person come is really none of your business, because if this is the most blackest woman on the planet that he's married to, the beneficiaries of their success are the children and any philanthropy they decide to do. But your ass don't benefit. You just like the optics. I'm not in the optics. I'm in the behavior, okay? So who a person decides to wed, lay down with, have sex with, totally their business, so long as they're grown and consenting, right? So let me be clear about that. So his wife, what black women do, who they decide to marry, I don't care. I'm more concerned about, let me see your behaviors, the ones that I can use, because your relationship don't benefit me anyway. We're not family. I don't care about optics. I don't look at couples and be like relationship goals. I don't do that shit. I'm a things and stuff kind of person. You pull up in the Maybach, I'm like goals. Right? You pull up, I come to your pad and you got acres of land. I'm like goals. That's stuff I want to acquire. What did you do to get this? And can I do it? That's one. Two, when you're looking at a Kobe Bryant and people like them, the difference between them and the common man or woman is they don't believe they have an oppressor. Their enemy is their self and their laziness and procrastination. You understand? So that's the one thing, because it's the biology of belief. You can't have unstoppable, unshakable, unbreakable confidence on one hand and then feel like there's a force outside of you that is plotting your demise. They don't coexist. You can't serve two masters. You either are a person that's highly driven and you believe there's nothing that can stop you, because Kobe Bryant wasn't stopped. He lived a fire-ass life. He wasn't stopped. It's just time to go. This shit happens. And it's so possible that his creativity was too damn big for his body. That's highly possible, okay? But if you are an unstoppable mind, then there's no force outside of you can stop you. It's you versus you. Now, because I also seen people say, you know what, Jay-Z, Diddy, they need to watch out. Yo, let me tell you something. Ain't nobody scared like y'all, man. That fear shit, if it's your time, it's your time. Now, the difference is, now people must be accountable for their magic, though. Now, a person's magical heroic journey, for example, if a person makes a deal with the devil, whatever that devil is, that opposing force, that's on them and their contract. So, for example, for 30 years, they could get rich, but at the end of that, they got to give up something, a limb, a body part. That's that person's journey. That's not the oppressor. That's the agreement that those people choose to make. The average man and woman that doesn't have no success habits, that's doing nothing but eating and shitting all day, go to work, come home, living a regular life, they don't have no oppressor. Their oppressor is the limits of their imagination. We live in America. This is the first time ever in modern history, after global cataclysms, that if a human being wants to scale as far as they want to, it's never been like that. So you can do that physically, financially, in relationships. Do you think men and women was able to do the shit they are doing right now in America? No, they weren't. Why? Because of tribal identity. Tribal identity would not let the individual exceed the tribe, even though those ideals of that individual may push the tribe forward in the long run. Okay? We're so addicted to tradition and addicted to comfort. You know what I'm saying? Someone recently said, oh, you know what? We need to go back to our African spirituality. Why would you want to go back to an African spirituality? Why not go to a digital spirituality? Why are you reaching back on a time that's gone? It's gone. Why not move forward in your thinking? Why not a virtual spirituality? Something that you can apply right now. Why? Because the latter makes you feel comfortable. And the other one is so much of a mystery and it's unknown. Why? Because you got to program it, right? You got to be the creator. You got to program it. You got to set in motion the change you want to see. And it's going to be in your children. And it's going to be in your neighborhood. Why are you trying to go get some more shit? And we live in virtual reality. But people like Kobe Bryant, Nipsey, Blue, I think you told me the story of Nipsey when he was saying you guys was like on a parking lot or a field or something. And y'all was talking about what y'all see. And this person seeing something totally different than you. Right. And I know that was a moment for you, like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I'll let you talk about that real quick.
I'm not used to being intellectually stunted on, you know what I'm saying? But son caught me off guard, and we was walking, and he was like, "What you see over there?" And I was like, "I see an empty lot." He was like, "I see a building." I was like, "What?" And you know, he was putting me on to his ability to see things that are not there. Vision. You feel me? So, you know, with resources, you can acquire that land, but you're going to build it up and you got to see the fullness of it. So, vision entails that being able to look and see things where they're not necessarily at, because you have a vision in your mind's eye, and that's an undying vision, you know, and you're willing to do anything to attain that. And there's a level of drive that you entail that leads to supernatural success. And that's what, again, we saw that with Kobe, because he was chasing something that's impossible to catch. You feel me? And that's the life and the legacy of a Michael Jordan, or him outshadowing or outshining, or his father, his own father, in the legends that he grew up on. There's many of them. I'm sure they were propelling and pushing him, you know what I'm saying, to give that extra 10 minutes, to give that extra minute when your body feels like it has had enough. And this is so paramount and instrumental. You know, this conversation is so necessary, once again, as a reset for this whole 2020 vision. You know, as I point out, you know, the coronavirus in China, the people who have slanted eyes, who their vision is challenged by their physiology, right? Technically, they have slanted eyes, so they get the least amount of light. They see things in the least amount of refracted. They don't see the fullness and the wholeness of things, if we're using that as an analogy. Now they have a virus that targets the corona of the eye, which is really the cornea, right? So the corona is twofold, it's talking about eyes and it's talking about the sun, right? So the whole aspect of one eye is the symbolism that ties together those two motifs, all right? And with this coronavirus, they said it is contracted by what you look at, right? That you could look at a motherfucker and infect him, or you could be looking at something and get infected, right? So this happened during their new year. They're coming into 2020, the year of the rat. And these people were not able to celebrate their new year, let alone look at one another. So this planet might be moving towards bird box territory, where people are now going to have blindfolds on, and they're going to be forced to be mindful of what they observe. You dig what I'm saying? They're going to be forced to be mindful of what they observe. So, you know, you look at the symbolism of the black mamba. You look at the fact that they said that this coronavirus came from them, from serpents and snakes, right? Or eating bats, right? Another animal that doesn't have sight, right? It has sonar sight. It listens with its audio sentient. Its ability to move and travel now is based on its sonar as opposed to its eyesight. So all of this is talking about vision. All of this is talking about a 2020 reset and your ability to observe things differently. And once again, we're asking that you observe this different, and you are able to extract life lessons out of this grand example that was left by this young man, and his ability to apply himself and sacrifice his body for the rewards that come with that. which technically are, you know, a comfortable life. You know what I'm saying? The man got to respectfully retire at an early age and do what the fuck he wanted afterwards and spend time with his family and watch his daughter, you know, grow and blossom into a version of himself based on her observation of her daddy. You know what I'm saying? So don't squander this, y'all. That's you know, in a nutshell, what we're saying is that it's a wonderful opportunity to walk away with life lessons that is going to make you stronger and more fortified for this decade, not just for this year, but for this decade and what is to come. Remind yourself the most important thing at the end of the day is your loved ones, is family. You know what I'm saying? It's the time that you spend with family, you know, and these earlier years in life, you know, they should be focused on a goal and an objective and the sacrifice that comes and entails that deals with that. So let me just, you know, end it on this note. You know, the fact that we are talking about this monolithic body of melanated people called the black people in America, 45 million of them. If you would imagine that, let's say 13 million of them, 2 million of them, 10 million of them woke up every day and they had a vision in their mind where they see an empty field, but now they see, right, Akon City or whatever they want to see, the new Black Wall Street, whatever it is. What sort of mobility towards that goal and objective do you think that these 10 million bodies would have on the daily? They will be manifesting so much shit into their reality supernaturally because they have their eyesight and their mind set on a goal and a vision collectively. You dig what I'm saying? That shit would happen so quick and they would manifest so much abundance, right? Especially during now when the quickening and all of these astrological alignments are taking place. But what are they going to do? They're going to manifest more fear. They're going to manifest more confusion. They're going to manifest more cloudiness of the sight. And they're going to miss a grand opportunity to capture a conversation and galvanize the populace to become relentless. They become relentless in their pursuit for whatever they want. All right, I'm going to mute my mic.
Damn, bro, you just said some powerful stuff because that's Mamba mentality. So I'm like, damn, you just threw my mind in so many places about vision. If we're strong historians, we know what a Jew is and a Jew ain't. I don't want to get into that because it don't matter. At the end of the day, a certain group of people believed they was chosen. It's about belief. They believed they was chosen. They believed they was chosen, and they put the work in to make that a reality. Zionism, realize, understand, it does not matter how you feel. This is what it is, right? And it's about vision. Because the Mamba mentality is about vision. You've seen Jews do it. You've seen a bunch of group of people do it. So let me tell you the origins of Mamba mentality and how it relates now to 45 million black people in America. The origin of Mamba mentality is European. Let me tell you how. The Vikings, the Crusades, Columbus, or whatever. Let me tell you, follow me through history. Let's just take New Amsterdam, which is New York. The Dutch came to New York. We already know there was people inhabiting the land. We get all that. But for 1 second, think. Now this is before whiteness and blackness. Okay? So try to think in that context. Before the creation of the white race and black. All right? When the Dutch came to America and they started trading pelts and furs and on the island of Manhattan, understand these are a group of people that came to America that historically was dominated by monarchies. They lived in feudalistic societies. You could not own land. Sometimes you didn't even have rights to your own wife. It was about the divine rights of kings. This is very important because now you'll understand what makes the European different than you. It's vision, okay? These people in Portugal, in Spain, in Germany, for thousands and thousands of years was dominated by warfare between kings, okay? So when they got to America, there were no kings. There were native kings, but the Europeans had the technology. So follow me. There was native kings, but the Europeans had no kings. These kings and queens were 2,000, 3,000 miles away. So even though they were claiming lands in the name of their kings, but still, this is what the Revolutionary War was fought over, taxation without representation. The 13 colonies said, hey, you know what? Man, we're about to start some new shit. Listen, follow me. Okay. What they did, moving natives off their land at any means necessary. That's what Malcolm said. That's Mamba mentality. So when they were doing what they were doing to Black Africans and natives, and the Spanish went to the Aztecs and the Incas, it wasn't personal. You just happened to be in the way of something someone wanted. Now you gotta understand that, because a lot of the things we take personally. The only problem I ever have in life is someone is in the way of something that I want. It's not personal. So if I do whatever I need to do to move you out the way, nature's gonna back me. Nature always supports the aggressor. This is proof in Japan. This is proof in China. This is proof in Canada. This is proof all over the world that nature supports the most dominant force. It's thought. Nature doesn't cry. It doesn't give a damn about feelings. It doesn't give a damn about right or wrong. Fortune favors the bold. Okay, so the Mamba mentality started then in the West when the Dutch, they weren't trying to build churches. Their first church didn't come to almost 20 years. They were about trading pelts and getting rich very quickly. Okay, John Jacob Astor, the one that bought Manhattan, you know, he was like, he bought it, he swindled it and bought the shit for under $20. And he said, man, on his deathbed, he said he should have bought the whole entire New York, the Bronx, everything, right? So you don't have to like these people. I don't care about that. But the Mamba mentality comes from there. Frederick Douglass had a Mamba mentality. I'm reading his book right now, and it's taking me long to finish it because the way that he wrote. Okay, he had a Mamba mentality. He was not going to be confined to that plantation in Maryland. Okay, Reginald Lewis had a Mamba mentality. Harriet Tubman had a Mamba mentality. Nat Turner had a Mamba mentality. What it is I don't give a damn what I have to do or who's standing in my way. I'm going to go forward with this mission. And the only thing that can stop me is death. That's it. That's the only thing that can stop me. Now, fast forward to now. Black Americans, you're in a unique situation because as we keep moving forward, you get further and further away from Africa, right? And now you're just now settling in that you're your own group of people, different, unique, with your own set of experiences. You are different as a group of 45 million, then you are different in ethnic differences because the Southern African American is not like the Northern African American. The West Coast African American is not like the East Coast African American. Hell, Philly, New York got 5 boroughs and they're all different. North Philly and South Philly is different. Okay, that's how unique it is. So yeah, you have this big collective experience, but you have these individual group ethnic difference experiences as well. So I'll close with this. You are in a unique situation because you have this thing that has neutralized the game, which is the internet, right? And the internet has allowed Black people to get rich faster than crack cocaine, legally, okay? People are scaling. I see a boy with tattoos all over his face, Do you think 50 years ago this individual would be allowed to scale? This person has made themselves completely unemployable in the marketplace. Okay? And they put their back against the wall. And from where I'm standing, that's a win. Okay? That's because of the internet. This person is carving their own lane. Not just him, a blue pill, anybody. You are in a unique situation to where if you are now free, there was two types of freedom you had to get from. Not just the cracker plantation, niggas had a plantation for you too. That's why you ran to the conscious community. You thought you was free there and found out, oh, surprise, nigga, we're police officers too, right? Now you see that, you know what? Knowledge of self has nothing to do with none of that. You got a clean slate, my G's, and you can take off anytime you want. You can do what you want, live where you want, do your hair how you want. You want a face full of piercings? Do it. You want to color your hair? Do it. You want to sleep with who you want to? Long as they grown, that's your business. You want to get filthy fucking rich? That's your business and that's your money. You want to go to college? Do it. You want to get a job? Do it. We are in that space right now where you can be whatever it is that you've been thirsting and fiending to be. Because guess what? It's a slavery over here too. You thought you was free? Surprise, nigga. A Jack in the Box came out. They had the metal netter and handcuffs. Nigga, read this while I tie you the fuck up. Nah, man. You're free. You're free. So you apply that MAMBA mentality to your life and go get what life got for you. Because I'm going to end with this. I ain't never in my life seen no community casket. They put your ass in the ground and niggas go back to niggering. Go ahead, boo.
Not the Jack in the Box with the handcuffs in the middle. Yeah, but he definitely hit on some key points. You know, you move from one box into the other in this reality. And the only thing that is going to ultimately take you out of that box, you know, a box has 6 points, right? Shout out to A. Rashid, taught me this. And the 7th point that they don't identify is the center point. You know, it's the middle, it's the midpoint of that particular box, you know, and you have to become the center point of whatever box you're in. That's the only way that you're going to unlock that box and get yourself out of that box. You know what I'm saying? You have to become the center point of your own research and your study. You know, all of this information has to edify you in some way. It has to fit into your personal journey. And as the brother Ross Ben said, if 2020 is the year with no squares in the chart, you know what I'm saying, no obstacle and no blocks, there's nothing holding you back personally from becoming what you want, not the image of you and someone else's vision, your vision for yourself. What is your unique vision? You know what I'm saying? We should start seeing things that we don't recognize in society more. And that is an indicator that we are finally in that 2020 energy, because people should be coming out and expressing themselves how they see fit. You feel me? However that shows up, we can't dictate how that shows up. That goes against what we're talking about. You know, it has to be a personal, individual expression that really speaks to the wholeness of a person showing up as themselves. And that's what we look forward to, you know, in this, even in this month of Aquarius, dealing with humanity as a sign. You know, these are some key times, man. These are some key times. These are some key lessons in life. You know, the universe is undefeated in its ability to teach, you know, to teach utilizing time and space, you know, in the spaces, the people that occupy that space, you know, the symbols that are inside of that space, you know, people's lives and their legacies and what they're leaving behind. So we have a wonderful opportunity, you know, to observe, even in the fact that when your work is one that, you know, is one of great sacrifice. It'll speak beyond the grave. You know, Nipsey went 6-time platinum. You feel me? Won a Grammy last night. He's still setting records from the grave. You know what I'm saying? I can't even begin to talk about how many millions Big done sold or Pac done sold. And yes, they all died tragic deaths. But guess what? You know what's promised to us all? Death. So in many ways, as we want to sit back and say, well, that man should have been grown enough to see his children grow into his grandchildren and play with his grandkids. You don't know what somebody's package entails, their life legacy. You know what I'm saying? The other day on the 24th, for the day that the new moon and the new year came in, we was we were supposed to, the astrologers, for the very first time in 1,000 years, were gonna observe the making of a supernova, right? Betelgeuse was about to implode on itself and create a supernova, and it would be the brightest, you know, light in the sky, what have you. You feel me? And it's the same thing with stars. Like, you don't know, you know, what the lifespan is, and how these stars come prepackaged, and you know what I mean, the contract that they have already agreed upon to sign to get up out of here and leave their light. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know these things. You can only observe and extract from your observation life lessons to bring back into your own personal work shed to work on self. You dig what I'm saying? To work on self. So yeah, man, I'm inspired. Um, I'm renewed in my purpose. You know what I'm saying? Every time that I lose someone, and when I say someone, it's not just someone who's personally in my life, but these people that are on the outer rings of our lives, are people that we grew up observing, and you know, there's a lot of RAM in my memory that is part of my Kobe file. You know what I'm saying? So I got a Kobe file in my brain just based on the fact that I've grown up observing and looking at Kobe. So this goes into the Kobe file. You know what I mean? But I can connect it now to all other type of files because of how the story ended up. You know what I mean? And all of that, and that whole file bed is only used for inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Confirmation. You feel me? And me, if I can do anything in terms of utilizing my platform to share information with other people, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Focus on the Mamba mentality. You know what I'm saying? Focus on the greatness of this person's self-sacrifice. Do not get consumed in the goddamn conspiracy. I'm gonna mute my mic.
Oh man, I just want to make sure because I feel like, you know, part of my duty is just to sprinkle some shit just to help shift the thinking. So when I say fortune favors the bold and nature supports the aggressor, it does. The problem is, Blue, is the teaching sense, the teaching of children. We believe in right and wrong instead of cause and effect, right? So let me tell you something. There is there is a such thing as righteous savagery. Righteous savagery. Let me explain to you what righteous savagery is. We all know the story of the British Crown. We're aware of that. We're aware of the Rothschilds too, and the dastardly deeds they have done. But they are covered because they also participate in philanthropy and world hunger. So at the same time, they're extracting oil from people and removing people off their land and funding world wars. They're also balancing that out with philanthropy, right? Because you can't be all good in life. It's not about being good. It's about being fair and equitable. Okay. So when fortune favors the bold, you got to mute yourself. When fortune favors the bold, I seen someone in the chat say, you know, steal and yo, nature does not know you're stealing. Nature does not know none of that shit. That's a human conceptions, and so is karma. Okay, karma was not here before people. That's a human concept. If you believe that, then that will happen. But the Kabbalion talks about freezing the pendulum. Okay, so when the marbles go back and forth, basically for this, there's that. Real practitioners of witchcraft or sorcery or wizardry or magic or thought, these kind of people know how to freeze the pendulum. So for where something will happen to you, it does not happen to them. How do you explain the house of Saad? How do you explain these bloodlines that have been in power for a long time? Your only response for that is that, oh, they're going to have their day. The Most High is going to punish them. When? Like, I'm 36 now. How long do we got to wait? I mean, yo, we're about to have flying cars, my G. So you keep waiting for for something to come redeem you? Listen, this is how nature works, and this is from my observation. If something or someone is in your way and you have a great pursuit, nature's gonna allow you to push them to the side. But you have to be pursuing something though. It can't necessarily be, you know what, I moved you out the way because I want a club. Nah. It has to be a big vision. You know what? I want to build a city right here, but the problem is people living here, right? Because your pursuit also has to benefit other people. Now, like it or not, when you study world history, America provides the highest quality of life human beings have experienced in the last 10,000 years, even though it's blood on America's hands. Now, when I say quality of life, this is what I mean by that. For a man and a woman to pursue their desires. You can actually marry a person in America because you have feelings for them. That's quality of life, right? So that means no one's pushing arranged marriages on you, okay? In America, you can read all day if you want. That's quality of life. People growing up in India can't do that. People growing up in China can't afford that. That's quality of life. Sanitation. If you've seen the Bill Gates documentary, then you see the world has a sanitation problem. That's quality of life. Clean water to drink in. America's so crazy that we don't even drink our water from the faucet. Do you know how many people live off Blue? When we go to Worldometers, we see how many people don't have clean drinking water, right? So even though there's blood on America's hands, I'll be the first to admit, we got a fucked up foreign policy. Our troops are doing dastardly deeds. But at the same time, people in America are experiencing the highest quality of living in recorded history. That's non-debatable. Now, you can be a weirdo and a hippie and say, well, I want to chill in the grass. And if you wanted to do that, you would do it. You would already be on it. You would be off grid. You'd be with King Noble in an abandoned building in Philly somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. You know what I mean? So the thing about it is there's righteous forms of savagery. You're even when you're doing so-called wrong, it has to be for a righteous cause. And if it is, nature is going to back you. History is showing us this. There is nowhere on the planet that nature supports the meek. Nature supports the weak. Not in the animal kingdom, not in the vegetable kingdom, not in the mineral kingdom, the bacteria kingdom, and not in human life. So the Mamba mentality, I'm not saying you have to get all crazy with it, just on a day-to-day, is you can't have any fear of outside things. There is no oppressor. If there is, what's their name so we could go to their house? Name them. Who are these oppressors? Who is this mystery they that you guys keep telling me about? Who are these oppressors? Is it the Rothschilds? Is it the DuPonts? Is it the House of Windsor? Is it the Committee of 300? Is it MK Ultra? Is it DARPA? Who's the oppressors? So you can pull up on them, right? Because if you know the people causing you hell and you do nothing, you're a coward, right? In my life, Blue, in my life, I've only seen one oppressor, one, and that has been me. I'm the reason that I have diabetes because I didn't follow what Dr. Sabi said. I heard Leela Africa. I decided to do my own thing. So now I got to pinch my finger every morning and every night to check my sugar, right? To make sure I don't go in a diabetic coma. Why? Because I went off cold. I heard the masters talk. I did what I wanted to do. That's on me. That's not on Dr. Sabi. That's not on Dr. Leela Africa. That's not on none of their research. If I was living the way that they said, the probability of me living a better life is higher. Yeah, shit can happen. But I'm saying I went off cold, right? So I only have one presser. I got a felony. I was selling drugs. I ain't have to do that. I ain't have to do that. I fucked up my money in the club, standing on the club, tricking on strippers, $1,000 a day type shit. Who told me to do that? That was me. I'm the oppressor. That was me getting home at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning when my son is about to go to school. Now I can barely remember when he was little because I was on ecstasy for years in a row, partying, fucking strange women. I did that. So I got to look at pictures of my son and be like, damn, I barely remember. I popped so much fucking ecstasy when the shit was popping. God, that was me. I chose to do that. There was no oppressor, right? What you call the oppressor is nothing but your own decision making. You know what I'm saying? So when you're looking at a Kobe or a Tom Brady or a Tyra Banks, you name it, or not even them, man, just a man that or a woman that decides to get up and go to work every day and live their life a certain type of way, right? When you look at them, that's because that's their decision making, yo. They're practicing the Mamba mentality. It goes from the boardroom to the mail to the post office to the warehouse, whatever. It doesn't matter. Anybody can have the Mamba mentality, but there is no oppressor. There's nothing. Yeah, and if I do this to them, then no one has to do that. You do it to yourself. You just admit that you do it to yourself. Admit that you're slacking. Admit that you're subpar. Admit that you're afraid. Admit that you need to put more focus on your parents and their mating habits than you do on the government. It's not the government's job to solve your problems. It's not the government's job to take care of your children. It's not the government's job to provide you a dope quality of life. It's not the government's job to do that. It's your job to do that. You're responsible for where you wake up in the morning, what you do, your habits. That's the Mamba mentality. And it's just a focusing and turning in where I'm at now in my life. I'm clear on what I want to do. I'm clear on what I'm not on. I'm straight on certain shit because I'm locked in and I'm zoned in. So this is and this is why I can appreciate someone like Kobe. And for real, I thank them for dying a beautiful death because I get to watch the rise of mythos. People, it's a beautiful thing when you do great things and you get to die early, young like that. So nobody sees you at 80 and 90 years old. For some reason, we find like a lot of value in that, like when your skin is falling off your face, right? When people tell me about Egyptians, they tell me about young people. They don't tell me about old Egyptians that's 100 something years old. These people is 30 years old. They come in and they go out, right? Go out while you're on top. Go out while you're beautiful. Go out while your name is ringing bells, right? And if you live to be old, then your purpose is pure counsel. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So I'll fall back, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you cooked it, pretty much brought it to a place where we can safely bring some closure to the conversation. You know what I'm saying? A lot was shared this afternoon, and it was all in the spirit of giving back. These are things that we have been able, to cull from this life lesson. You know what I'm saying? And share along the way because I like like my co-hosts, we didn't just start looking at Kobe's greatness. You know what I'm saying? This is something that we have lived with. This is something that we're mindful of. The brother put me on to this book that he's reading from called Relentless years ago. You feel me? Years ago. So we have always discussed the Mamba mindset, you know what I'm saying, and the Mamba mentality of really approaching something with a different level of intensity, almost unhuman. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you're gonna make the breakthroughs. That's how you're gonna achieve a level of greatness that even surprises you as a person. You feel me? Like, you have to have that thing in you, and if you don't have it, you gotta find your way to get it. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna tell you that everyone doesn't have it. You know, everyone is definitely not gonna manifest it. You know what I'm saying? But there's something optimistic in my insight that thinks that people have the potentiality, you know what I'm saying, to pull certain things from themselves. They will surprise themselves. But everyone doesn't have the drive or the wherewithal or even the reason to go that deep. Find you a reason. Feel me? Find you a reason. Find you a backboard that you can bounce off of. You understand? So then find you a backboard that you can bounce off of. And next thing you know, you hitting on that. But you gotta have that backboard first. You dig what I'm saying? Because you don't want to be in the game shooting air balls like that young man. If your aim is only for the net, the backboard provides support initially. You know what I mean? For these magnanimous goals, dreams, and ideals that you have. Next thing you know, once you don't practice shooting off the backboard, now you shooting net. You know what I'm saying? And you'll never have a conversation about shooting the air ball again. Find you a backboard. And that's an analogy to say, find you a reason and a purpose for you to have a vision that's larger than life. And those are the things will draw you and get you up early mornings. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that when you're going to sleep at night in pain, it's worth it. You feel me? I couldn't even, like, I had issue walking earlier last week. You know what I'm saying? I was walking damn near semi-crippled because I've been going to the boxing gym every morning because I want it, you know? I want it. I'm determined to conquer some things within myself that I've been putting off. And there's no better time than now because I'm utilizing my own narratives to change my life. So I've attached my own personal journey and ascension with the ascension of the sun. I'm not just going to talk about the information, I'm actually utilize it in my own personal development. So when June and July comes, I could be like, look, not in the global nature of look at me and make an observation, based on my vaingloriousness. It's like, no, look at what happens when we apply oneself. Look what the believers look like at the end of the day, right? Because we don't believe in nothing. You feel me? Faith and belief are concepts that we throw away when we leave Christianity in pursuit for spirituality or consciousness or whatever. When Napoleon Hill said those are the foundated principles of success. You know what I'm saying? How are you going to be successful without faith and belief? You feel me? You have to find your own personal definition outside of religion that makes those concepts work for you in this language, because you're not speaking Kiswahili, you're speaking English. All right. So don't come and tell me that they don't have a word for belief in other languages, nigga. You don't speak other languages. You're speaking English. And this is how you are showing up in this world and manifesting yourself. You feel me? You don't think in Kiswahili. You're thinking the voice in your head is in English. So you got to utilize this particular word magic. You have to find a way to make these things work for yourself. You know what I mean? You got to make sense of the senseless. You know what I mean? Apply yourself. Apply this vehicle. You know. I was watching this highlight reels, bro, and I'm like, that's only the definition of somebody who has put themselves through supernatural training. And I'm when I say supernatural training, that is what? Get into the gym before it opens and leaving after it closes. You know what I'm saying? They say he was the first one there. You know, his dedication to his training allowed him to look supernatural on that court, making his body contort and do things that are defying to humans' concept of gravity. You feel me? That's where we watched. That's what we observed. You know what I mean? We observed somebody who gave it their all and broke through that wall and was beyond that. You feel me? And now we have the highlights and what have you to live with. But this person had to live with the pain. This person had to live with the sacrifice. This person had to live with, you know what I mean, long nights, light nights away from your family, nights where you got to lay up in the ice because your body's in so much pain. Like, there's sacrifice that goes into this, and we only see the end of it. And we, like you said, have the freedom to judge from afar. Shit crazy. All right? So I'm going back on mute.
Older than me, but kind of seem the same similar cultural thing. So you see Jordan come fly. Wanted to go outside. What, you can't hear me? It's too loud. Okay, hold on 1 second. So you seen the Jordan come fly with me, right? You seen the Jordan come fly with me. You seen you wanted to go hoop. You seen the Gatorade commercial, right? You wanted to go hoop, right? You wanted to go hoop. Mad dudes was supposed to be like MJ, Ray Allen, Vince Carter, Harold Miner. They call Harold Miner Baby Jordan. Kobe Bryant was the only one that actually dared to be like Michael Jordan, right? You know how hard that is? Yo, if you say right now you want to be like Bobby Hemmett, that means you have to remember every book title and every author you ever read. Facts. If you seen a Bobby lecture, every book he took, he quoted, he knows the author. You know how difficult that is?
In the page.
Yo, so if you dare to be like Bobby, what you saying is you're gonna amass one of the most valuable personal libraries in American history when it comes to the occult, right or wrong, right? So he dared to do that. Also, Kobe Bryant knew the angles on the court of how far the three-point line was to certain spaces. He studied it in terms of measurements. So he's always playing at angles. So that could be a testament to, you know what, if he was a brother of the craft, if he was a Mason or whatever, most likely he was. I could just tell by his intellect. But he approached the game from angles. He also took ballet, right? That's why he was so flexible. He consumed himself everything when it comes to his craft. Now, let me tell you what separates that from the average man and woman. The average man or woman doesn't know what it's like to be a competitor, to compete at something. The job you have, most likely, ladies and gentlemen, you're not competing against the best people in the world. You just filled out an application, you interview well, and they accepted you. Being in the NBA at the top of the field, or the NFL at the top of the field, you're competing against the best talent in the world. Now, many of you can't say that. You have no experience of being a competitor. But if you approach the so-called oppressor or white supremacy as competition instead of a death sentence, you'll be able to measure yourself and say, you know what? I went against a stronger force and I fucking won. Now let me tell you what it's like. Let me tell you what's the win. No, you don't have a military. No, you don't control the Federal Reserve. But if you manage to stay out of jail, okay? If you manage to wake up and work out, stack your bankroll, raise respectable kids that's industrious, find a man or a woman, no matter how many, monogamous, poly, and y'all get along, and y'all raise kids, and y'all stay together, that's a fucking win. That's a win. Is you crazy? That's a win, right? So, but, Blue, I'm going to say this in closing. The number one people that need to practice the Mamba mentality is the women. Because the women
put their mama mentality in relationships. That's a problem. So this is why you don't find so many industrious women, because your mama mentality is focused on a nigga. It's focused on getting married. Getting married is your highest achievement. You feel like you made it. You feel like that's the end to end. Meanwhile, males pursue different things. Males look at the mountain and want to scale it. They look at Mount Everest and want to conquer it. They want to know what's at the bottom of the ocean, and they build machines to go find out. Meanwhile, women play with fucking Barbie dolls, and the only thing you can imagine is being laid up on some man. And if that's your legacy, let me tell you something. History remembers husbands, not wives, homegirl. You're also in a free period of time where, you know what? Put your purpose above a man. You understand? Be industrious. Go out and get you some shit that when you die, the world studies you. You don't have to mate like your grandmother, because this is the thing. You want a man to be so on you and so monogamous to you, but you're not monogamous to industry or your goals. So you want a man to practice something to you that you're not even with yourself. Are you monogamous with your health? Are you monogamous with your finances? Are you monogamous with your degree and your industry, right? And even if a man looks at you, bats his eyes at you, you'll stop going to school. You'll fucking have a baby, talking about this baby is special. The earth don't need no more babies. The earth don't need no more babies, yo. Mamba mentality for the women too, not just guys, for the ladies. Be more than a fucking wife. And if you happen to be a wife chasing your mission, then that's dope. That's a byproduct of you being alive, but that is not your purpose. You're not a baby making factory, and your sole purpose is to not get up under a nigga. That's coward shit, and that's you turning your brain off. Because God forbid there's no men that exist no more. How you gonna build cities? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So the women want to practice Mamba mentality as well, and they're the ones that really need to practice it, because men are doing their goals regardless. They'll put marriage on hold, they'll put children on hold until their mission is complete. But a woman will desperate for love will pause all of the great shit she has going on just to be somebody's fucking wife, as if history remembers you and says, oh, wow, you were such a great wife. No, they remember you in architecture. They remember you in warfare. They remember you in business. They remember you in architecture. They remember you in inventions. They remember your ambition and your industrious, and that bleeds over to generations that come after you. So females want to definitely implement the Mamba mentality, because not only is the black people free now, you are also free from the narrative of wives and babies. Blue.
But I can't follow that up. You know what I'm saying? Some shit that's standalone. You dig what I'm saying? And yeah, I mean that's an excellent exclamation point, because this conversation, because it's focused on Kobe and his professional pursuits. It's not being inclusive necessarily of women, outside of the fact that his daughter died with him, and that's a tragedy, and he died while fathering. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely want to leave it on that note. You know what I'm saying? That the women can definitely benefit from this mama mentality leading into 2020, this relentlessness, you know what I'm saying? Being a closer in your own personal space, whether that's in your relationship, whether that's in your home, whether that's at work, whether that's in your social circle, whatever you do, we are going to need a new level of intensity and input from everybody that's on the field, everybody that's on the court, everybody that's hands-on, and that's man, woman, and child in this reality, because there's nothing holding either one of you back. All of you have different forums that are open to you now, where you can fully express yourself. You can make more money than the next man. You know what I'm saying? There's 6-year-olds on YouTube making millions of dollars. 2-year-olds, matter of fact. So there are no rules. We live in a new paradigm, a new reality, and how you're willing to engage in it is, what you're willing to be rewarded from it. So nature favors the bold. You know what I'm saying? We need to be willing more so to take risk out here, but you should be risk ready, and risk ready comes with a level of training and aptitude that our brother embodied in his life, legacy, what he left behind, what you can learn from him. You know what I'm saying? So if you putting off the gym, if you putting off whatever level of commitment that is necessary for you to bring about your 2020 vision, you need to stop procrastinating. You know what I'm saying? You need to get out of your way, and you need to battle that oppressor that's within self, that procrastinator. You understand? Yeah. On that note, we're gonna leave it on that.
Yeah, bro. I mean, not to beat a dead horse, but everybody, take what they need. You know what I'm saying? We're mining for gems. You know what I'm saying? So take what you need and just be more, yo. Just be more. You know what I'm saying? Because we live in interesting times where you wake up and the people you was talking to yesterday, they not here no more. You know what I'm saying? So we in interesting times and just be more. You know what I mean? I'm not with none of that group thing talk. I'm not with none of that shit. I'm with the future. And I'm with, I'm Barbara. Oh, you got to mute yourself, bro. I'm Barbara and Kenny Brisbon. So that says a lot, right? So I got a blank canvas. You know what I mean? Because, my parents weren't the most industrious people. And they call the L in life. You know what I'm saying? They call the L. So I'm their son. So I'm past my father and I'm past my mother. And I'm really curious about how far that I can take my life. You know what I mean? And if I'm in a plane that go down along the way, or a boat that sinks along the way, or if a force that's greater than me stops me in my track, then that's cool. Because I know that, I put on and I went for the gusto. I exceeded my hood, you know what I mean? And I exceeded this ideal of a fucking black male, that I'm hunted and that people is trying to kill me and I'm the number one threat and everybody's scared of me. Man, fuck all that. And I ain't got no friends, man. Fuck all that shit. Miss me with all that. I'm cool on all that. I'm going past that for myself, right? And now the cool thing about me is I'm speaking as an individual. Black people don't owe me shit. Black men don't owe me shit. Black women don't owe me shit. Black people don't got to do nothing for me. If I come with a product and you think it's fire, cop it. If you don't, fine. There's more people around the world, right? I'm not speaking for nobody. I'm speaking for Ken Billy, right? This is my personal journey. This is my personal movie, my coloring book, my GTA. I'm on the sticks. I'm controlling my own person. Matter of fact, this is a creative player, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the game and I'm creating a player, right? So, how you give yourself a lineup and waves, nigga, and braids. When I used to play NBA Live, nigga, I used to make myself like 7 foot. You know what I'm saying? I used to have a patch on my eye. Well, that's the game we live in right now, where you can create a player. And all you got to do is start editing. So I'm editing now. So I'm running more. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing things differently. Because just in case I got 40 more summers left, right? What if you got 40 more summers? What you want your life to look like? 40 more summers. What if life got that funny fucking sense of humor where you don't die early and your ass is here for 40 more years, 50 or more years? What if? What you gonna spend time doing? And one thing I'm not gonna spend time doing is thinking about what a group of other people, what they should do or what they shouldn't do in their life. Make your own choices. Go your own way. You feel me? So for me, I'm Barb and Ken's son. So I'm trying to take my bloodline to a place we never been before. Past mediocrity, past excuses, past demand and the system. That shit sounds so corny. You know what I'm saying? Just let me say this, and I have to say this. I heard Umar Johnson on the Breakfast Club, and he talked about the 5 things that's wrong with black people. He did not mention fathers. He mentioned everything but fathers, right? No. Let's end all that shit. There is nothing outside of us that's a problem. Everything is in-house. That's the Mamba mentality. Being accountable. You are accountable for them children. You are accountable for your own health, your own education, your own mythos, and your own journey. Police brutality is not my fucking problem. In fact, I'm practicing the power of belief. I can guarantee that I never get killed by police. That'll never be my story. That's not in my vision board. That's not in my journal. I'm writing my journal to say, when I die, it'll be in my bed around my colleagues. Because the highest form of respect is not fucking love from the people. That's fickle. To be respected by your peers in the profession that you choose. That's the highest form of respect. Because those are your colleagues. They do the same thing as you, and they revere you. Kobe is revered by other basketball players, not just basketball players, football players, soccer players, people that know what it takes to be great. I want that kind of love. Love from the people, that shit's fickle. All they got to do is print an article that they don't like, and now all that love shit, it ain't there no more. You know what I'm saying? I seen a few years ago on Facebook, they said Malcolm was a sex worker, and people shared that shit. Damn, that's all it took? That's all it took. You believe that shit, huh? Right? So, nah, I'm cool on that. Respect from your peers and your colleagues and your chosen profession is the highest form of love that you can go after. So, me, Ken, Billy, that's where I'm at, Blue. I know you there too, of seeing how far can you push yourself? How rich can you get? How many friends can you make? You know what I mean? How many countries can you go to? You know what I'm saying? You a nigga from Brooklyn, bro. A lot of niggas that you went to school with is dead. You still here. You know what I'm saying? So how far can you and your brother take it? With modern medicine and the way that science is, can you live to be 100? Why not? You wasn't supposed to be 25. So why not push it? You know, and I end with this, not to be brother long-winded. Just, if I can encourage anybody to do anything, I come from humble beginnings, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, I cannot believe how my life has turned out. I can't believe it. I have not worked for nobody in so long. I don't even know how to fill out a job application. Is every month a up month? Nah, it's a grind. It's a struggle, right? But I can't believe what I've done. I can't believe that I got this far on accident. I'm not gonna lie. But the next 20, that's intentional. The 20 prior was all grace and favor because I was fucking up like a motherfucker and I was still living a fire light. That wasn't me. That's from the cosmos. I can't take credit for that. You know what I mean? Because I made some mistakes. No way I'm supposed to be living like this, right? So the next 20, the next 36 rather, is all Mamba mentality. So next time I talk like this, I won't say I can't believe that I'm here. No, I wrote this out. I do believe that I'm here. Nothing accidental, right? So Mamba mentality for everybody. Yo, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I think we killed it. Follow me on YouTube. I do got some content on there. And just type in Ken Billion and just know I'm for the individual. I don't give a fuck about the group. The group could burn. I'm for you, sis. I'm for you, homie, and your personal growth. And if you about personal development and personal growth and accountability, fuck with me. I'm not everybody's friend. You know what I mean? I don't want to be at the lunch table with everybody. I'm an acquired taste. You know what I'm saying? So you rock with your boy, Ken Billions. Follow me on YouTube, IG, all that, man. You already know.
And there you have it, family. All right, you already know, at Blue Pillar 44. Hemp for Victory 2020. That's the website. You can get more information on this hemp movement, you know, that we're a part of. And Goldwater, of course, goldwater.com. And with that said, yes, $ Blue Pillar 44, that's the Cash App. And $ Kenny Briz, that's the brother's Cash App as well. All right. KenBillions.com is where you can find more of his information out on the internet. And with that said, yes, this was an amazing broadcast. Glad we got to share this information. All right. And Brother Red, of course, he'll be back this evening with Melanin Mondays. All right. We'll be back Tough Talk Tuesdays tomorrow. And of course, we got another Know the Ledge program with me and Red coming on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, you have Third Eye Thursday and all of that good stuff. So stay tuned, stay focused. All right. Be driven and be relentless in your pursuit of greatness, y'all. Peace, love, and light.
Cleaner, closer, or cooler? You gotta pick one.
Cleaner,
Holla.
closer, cooler. Choice is yours.